I showed you before the Boyle Plan Gals homeschool planner, mom planners, and all the options there was before, and I will link that below. But this time I am going to show you the student planner options that they have, both for grades 3 through 8 and high school. So stick around with me. Welcome back, friends. If you're brand new to my channel, my name is Arlene with Arlene and Company. I received this in exchange for my honest review with the full bundle of, not bundle, well, it could have been a bundle. I received from the Well Plan Gal their homeschool planners, 3 different options that I compared for you, so you help you decide which one would may fit you, and all the changes that makes it more inclusive to greater audience, a bigger audience. But I also had the student planners to show you, so I will link that in the little card up above for that previous review of the planners. If you're interested in that, go ahead and check that out. We're going to quickly go over the student planner that is from grades 3 to 8 or suggested ranges, and the high school planner. They have a lot more than this. They have a college one, they have a 4-year plan. They're just like a lot. All right, but let me take you through these. The reason I opted to grab the high school one for my daughter was because I wanted to show you guys the difference, and she'll still be able to use it. But this middle grade one is really cool. High school, if you have a high schooler, stick around with me, my friends, because that one's pretty rad. All right, so the student planner, they have I think like a couple of cover options, and this is for the academic year 22 to 23. You have the little similar format as the homeschool one, which has little articles and things like that. The changes that you're going to see is they're going to be QR codes throughout. That's going to give you additional resources, tools, tips, all kinds of jazz. So you have the intro page. Also this whole feel to it is teaching your kiddos to time management, get them more independent or have more autonomy over their schoolwork and how they manage all that. So by the time they get to high school, it's kind of like just second nature. You have an introduction here that explains every single section and how to implement it. So where to start, ask for help, pick a planning time, start small, use something erasable, keep your planner accessible, schedules, routines, a rhythm, and then what that difference means, using your planner, reading goals, monthly pages, and it all explained. You also, in their true fashion, you're going to have a sample of a schedule or a plan written out, and it's going to go over each section. So here it's kind of like I would call this a horizontal planner layout, and it goes over how to utilize it in each section. You have these little check off boxes. I don't know about you. I know my kiddos like checking stuff off. So you can keep it nice and short. What I do at this stage is I write it in for them and then let them check it off, and they can see for themselves. This is completely blank at the time that I'm showing you this. So you have the dates on the side here, and then you have practice and responsibility. So responsibility can be like chores or some daily habits, whatever it may be for your family dynamic. There also is a box for a weekend section, and then a mini calendar, and then weekly routine tracker. So if they have a routine, they have those sticker ones, which I've also reviewed over on Instagram. Weekly routine trackers, so morning or evening routines. If you have one of their stickers, I've reviewed those in the past, which are pretty rad and repositional to so many times. You can do that as well, so they have like a routine that it just becomes second nature. You have the weekly pages, some extra success, and the reference section. Just like I was excited about the homeschool planner having additional notes, a note page included here as well in the student planner. You have a calendar which starts from July to June of 2023. Finding a rhythm, my schedule, so they can know how it flows. And then here they can also just check off the boxes once they've done it. And then you can check off the days that they would do this at. So if they're doing math Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, but not Tuesday, you would just check off those boxes. And that would give them a visual reference, right? So I love that, right? Even if you don't do schedule, just a morning routine and evening routine. So if you don't want to have like that big sticker thing that they have, the peel and stick, the peel and plan, that's what it's called. Then you can go ahead and write right here. So it gives you a slot for 5 habits for each, so morning routine and evening routine. This is especially helpful for your neurodiverse kiddos, such as mine. I find it great. So here is divided by semester 1, my reading goals. And then here you have date, author, and book titles. So this can be their independent read and go from there. And then you have some notes here that maybe they just want to doodle or whatever you want to do with that space. You have a 2-page spread for your monthly layout. It does start on a Sunday, so Sunday through Saturday, and you have a little bit of here of a quote. There is no Bible verses anymore or any of that in the actual planner. Now, I can't guarantee that one of the QR code is not going to lead you to a faith-based resource. I do know that the planners are just more inclusive now, and instead have like general tips and codes instead of Bible verses. All right. So if you are a Christian family, they do have a downloadable Bible plan if you have for free for your regular planners and such. But it's not on here. Okay, and then you have a note bar at the side with a mini calendar for your future month. Then you have blank space for projects. I love the open-endedness of this. It has a planning tip up top, and I really do enjoy how much room it is to like just jot things down. Here is your first weekly spread. As I said, you have school assignment on here, then practice and responsibility. So on the practice, if you look at the sample of what that can be, you can list like specific classes at a time. Like my children take piano class, they take Hebrew as well. And then you can list that right there, or you can put something else. Maybe they have to practice their musical instrument every day or whatever it may be. So again, that follows through, and you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 lines down. So you can list like 10 different assignments, obviously in shorthand, and the details are really belong in your homeschool planner unless you like to do things differently. Then here you have the little, it looks like a little, like the iPhone, which I appreciate, kind of just very relatable. The morning and the evening routine. And then that continues on for every week of the month. And the design from the cover carries through. Then you get to the next month. Again, you have the project pages with blank pages, and then you have that. So let's get to the resource pages. And actually, let me show you something else first before I do this. So let's look at the end of a semester. Semester success. Right. So semester success, my favorite class, my closest friends, my fondest memory, my favorite book, I discover I'm good at. So this is the nice little reflection for your child, and it's something like we do as a check-in. So it's a nice that I have an allotted space for it. Finding a rhythm, and this is semester 2. So you are going ahead and starting again. So if your curricular resources, whatever changes, maybe they're taking guitar this season or whatever it may be, then you write over again here for the new semester. I appreciate that. And if your routines have changed, then you go and do that as well. And then my reading goals continues. So now I'm gonna flip through so you can just see how the colors vary. So if your kiddo's not into stickering and all that stuff, it's pretty like decorated already for you. You don't, just like the homeschool family planner is just, it's already all done. All right, so let's go to the resource pages, because that's what I really love about these planners is the resource pages that's going to be right on their hand. Again, you have that semester success again here for their reflections, and then here are the references: in my writing, in my country, out of my world, in my calculations, and in my world. And then you you go into that for your references. So in writing, parts of speech, punctuation, capitalize it, commonly misspelled words, popular propositions, all right here at their fingertip. In my calculations, so you have conversion tables, you have geometry, equivalent measurements, you have the table of multiplication tables on here, you have symbols, you have Roman numerals, you have the maps for in my country with the state capitals, abbreviation, state capital, the territories, U.S. president, government, like the different branches, U.S. wars with dates. Really appreciate that. I am a history nerd, so I thought that's rad. I've never seen any planner that the student planners that include resource pages, which I've reviewed a few that have that. And this is like the most resource pages that I've seen from any of the student planners that I've reviewed. In my world, here you're gonna have it divided by continent and then the countries, and then you see the big map on here. And again, you get all that. Now on science, out of my world, you have the solar system, important space missions, notable astronauts, space fun facts, and then you have the future calendar with a note page, two-side note page at the end. And here's the peel and plan I was talking about. If you want to do a visual on their wall in their room or whatever, and they're repositional, you can do that for school assignment, you can do that just for chores, you can do whatever you like with them, and you can fully customize them. You can do all kinds of fabulousness with it. All right, so this one, like I said, is a recommended for grades 3 to 8. And that's based on the resource pages of what those are geared for. Those pages are for those higher elementary to middle school. Now, if you have a younger kiddo that you still want to implement a planner and you're just gonna help them, you can totally still use it. It's just that the resource pages may be a little bit over their heads. All right, so let's look at high school. The high school planner, of course, is also an academic year. And just to give you a quick rundown, again, planning succeed with time management for high school, planning for success, developing course goals, understanding GPA, high school credit requirements, exploring electives, semester credits, goals, success. All this stuff is gonna be in the high school planner. I am so glad that I asked to get the high school instead of 2 of the middle school ones, because I just am so excited to be able to show you this option. And like I said, it's fine. It's just the resource pages is not going to be geared towards my daughter, which is in middle school, but that's okay because I already have the other one for my son that has the other pages, so it's cool. All right, so you have the introduction page. Again, you're gonna have that finding your rhythm, where to start, using your planners, and then here's a little bit where it differs, high school journey, semester pages, my schedule, and all that jazz, and it's gonna be geared, obviously, to a high school student. Now, the resource pages are gonna be towards the end, so I will go over that, and then it looks a little bit different. A weekly page, you have longer lines here, and then the 10 slots, and then the practice and responsibility. As you can see, they give you more slots. You write out more assignments on here. Part here. So instead of having these like practice and responsibility and things like that that are helpful cues for younger kiddos, in high school it's just like more of task lines. So that's how the lines differ if you want to look at the reference of both of them. You still have the weekend slot, the morning, evening routines, tracker, and the mini schedule. You also have remind yourself to make time for self-care. Love that. So here it has an example. Spot night at home, face mask, nail, hair mask with Allie, whatever. It's just giving you an example. I love that. And it's just so great for that age. I actually wish the middle school one had that too. I think we've been doing like mindful practice forever. So then you have the school calendar, planning for success. This is gonna say welcome to a new high school year. If this is their first year, this is gonna be very valuable because it's gonna have a lot of information, credits, transcripts information, grade point average, and all that jazz. So grade point average, standard grading system is going to be there. Extended grading system is also going to be there. And this is time where a lot of kiddos outsource some classes, or maybe they're doing dual enrollment and such. So it's important that they know this information and what the requirements are. So these are some general requirements. Obviously look at your specific state if you have some requirements for graduating your child, or if you is completely based on the parent. Every place or even out of country works a little bit different. So subject, the general requirement, this is just like the common stuff. And one of the recommendations I make, if you're already in the high school stage or late middle school, is kind of gauge with your locals, university and colleges, and what their admission requirements are. And then as you're making your high school plans, you can work to meet those requirements. So that's a good way to gauge what you need to cover in high school by looking at your nearby colleges and universities. Now, obviously, if they go somewhere else, it's going to be maybe a little bit different. But if you gauge it on your public universities and stuff, it's usually pretty similar. All right, so English, 4 credits, college trade, how it goes, math, social studies, science, health and wellness, electives, and other requirements. And then it just breaks down how many credits are typically needed. Here's a yearly checklist. So as in this one had all these resource pages at the end and a little bit introduction of how to use it. With this planner, this has a lot of this high school prep in the beginning. So yearly checklist, you have freshman checklist, sophomore, junior, senior. I'm telling you, I'm so freaking in love with this planner. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, so secondary education is my jam. Elementary was not. Like, I made the best of it. My kiddos had a lot of fun. We did great, right? But that's not my jam. I cannot stand the early reading stages. I cannot, I know I'm gonna get rocks thrown at me. I just can't. Middle school and up is my jam. That's where I used to volunteer at. That's my people. All right, so you have the checklist here. So just a general idea. So join clubs and groups, use public transportation, practice time management, learn note-taking techniques, read a map, write address and mail a letter, write a thank you note, learn about safe social media use, pack for a trip. And this is like just general things that your kiddo at that age should be like learning to gain independence, right? Jobs and financial, learn about different careers, complete a career aptitude test. Household, a lot of school has gotten rid of home ec, right, in public schools. But here it touches on the things that I know most homeschoolers, we've been doing this with our kiddos since ever. Then health, learn emergency preparedness and how to handle emergencies, house fires, all that jazz, exercise regularly. And then these are just like general checklists. It's not all about academics, and that tells you right here. High school isn't all about academics. There's an important life skills you will need in order to function as an adult. So these are like life schooling checklists. Love it, love it, love it. And then it just goes on from there. So obviously you can see each year gets a little bit more deeper. And then here goes a college entrance exam. So we were talking about ACTs, SATs, what is a PSATs, plan to test, tips for success, and all that jazz. I know that a lot of universities or public universities has dropped their SATs or ACTs requirements. Florida has not. I think as of last I checked, Florida is the only school that has not, only state that has not dropped the requirement of SATs to enter college if you're not transferring in. So yeah, good times. High school elective, practicing over time better than cramming, step-by-step, helpful links, and all that is also included in this high school planner. Pursuing interests outside of the traditional school setting. And then here you have literature goals. I like that. Like, I need a moment. Are you freaking? I love that. All right, credit semester 1 goals, credit goals, subject, course, credits earned, and then here you have finding a rhythm, a daily schedule, projects and activities, morning routine and evening routines. So that is similar, but here how it changes is the credit goal that you're looking for. Maybe you're just like you need a credit in English or whatever not, and then how much you earned. And then you have some note pages, and quite a bit actually at the beginning. You know how I feel about note pages and planners. It's a must for me. All right, And then you have a quote that you'll June and August, and then a note bar on the side. You have the pre-printed holidays on here. You can, of course, can add whatever you like. Start off strong. Here's some tidbits. Here's some life skills throughout. Oh, again, friends, I'm obsessed. Okay, what is the difference between fixed and variable expenses? And oh my goodness, like seriously, like these are things that we may forget to mention or think about to express with our kiddos. I love that because then you can just do it. If your kid is really interested, they go in a deep dive on these little things there. So like this week, that was the life skills. What's the difference between fixed and variable expenses? So that's okay, cool. All right, so here is the weekly layout as I showed you before. Here's the self-care bar that I really love. Mini schedule here, I love that one. And here, in the middle school one, I wanna say middle school, you have it right on the weekend. It's tiny, it's fine, but I love how it fits here. And these are same size, they're like 6x9. So they just were able to lay it out a little bit different, a little bit more compressed, right? So you have all these lines on here to do any of the tasks. The line all the way on the top is for notes. So any specific thing that needs to stand out, they can go ahead and do and just write on there. So those continue those pages with your weekly schedule, and then you go into the next month. And then on the next month, again, you're gonna have a little quote. Is either gonna be here or here, depending on the design of it. Procrastination, and here has their tidbits. So I really have always enjoyed these in the homeschool family planner, how they had these like just some tidbit of homeschool world. And here is the next life skill. What is the difference between gross pay and net pay? Again, awesome stuff, awesome things. All right, so then that continues on, and then you can see college portfolio, what is home equity, and it's awesome, you know. What is the difference between simple and compact interest? I can talk about this all day, but we're not, because you know I'm gonna ruin it for you. Definitely just grab it. I do have a discount code, friends, and that will be a page that they made for me, which is awesome, with all my like favorite stuff from them. And the code is Arlene 15, so it'll give you 15% off, which is pretty rad because they're very affordable to begin with. Some study skills, and then it keeps going. It could just, you know, I can't handle it. I can't handle it. What is the difference between someone who works for a wage and someone who has a salary? That is stuff that the stuff that you normally don't randomly pick up. So I think that is awesome. So you have the notes, and then semester 2 goals. So credit, subject, so you do it all over again. All right, and then you have these note pages in the middle as well, and then you have the semester success. So you have that reflection just like you had in the middle school one. I'm gonna say middle school, but you can use it for upper elementary. And then you have attendance summary, especially if you live somewhere that you are required to keep attendance, accomplishments, the credits that they earned, community involvement. We know that high schools in most places do volunteer hours, semester highlights, my interests were, I aspire to be, my favorite classes, my least favorite class, my closest friend, I admire, my favorite quote, whatever it may be. And then it gives you ample note pages to continue that on. Intentional summer, I love that. Okay, so let's go to the back of the planner, just so you can see how it ends. So your resource pages for this planners are all in the beginning versus having those cheat charts that the other one has for the 3 to 8. This one has the note and a lot of the high school prep at the beginning instead. But however, there is, like I said, some monthly organizational tips and the QR codes that take you through other things. But this is, I think, a pretty fantastic high school planner. So I love this one. I really do. I love the resource pages on it. I love the setup of it. Really, really love it. This is still my favorite because that's just where my heart is. If you have any questions, my friends, feel free to leave them down below and let me know. Don't forget to like and share and subscribe. I appreciate it. And I do have that discount link down below as well for 15% off. And if you want to catch the homeschool planner review, check that out as well. I'll see you guys next time.
Used to call
Bye.
me sweetheart. It was different when we first met. Fast car with your